But Psalm 8 is pointing back to Genesis 1, right? To the fact that God created man to be his vice regent, to rule over his creation. That is what is explicitly articulated in the blessing, the dominion blessing. People sometimes call it the creation mandate, but I like to call it the dominion blessing. He blessed them and said, I mean, there is a mandate there, but this is a blessing to humankind. And what is that blessing? That blessing is be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and have dominion and subdue, right? That's royal language. That's a very, very same terminology that's used later to describe Israel taking dominion over and subduing the promised land, right? This is language of, this is royal language. And so humanity's role given as a blessing in Genesis chapter 1 was to rule over creation as God's vice regent. God intended to create a kingdom on earth, his kingdom on earth, over which he would set his creation, man made in his image. And of course, really, that's the essence of the sin that occurs in chapter 3. It's not just even eating the fruit, although that was explicit disobedience. Really, the first sin was Adam failing to exercise dominion over the serpent. God threw the serpent out of heaven into the garden. Why? Because Adam was supposed to judge the serpent. Adam was supposed to be the judge over this fallen angel, and he failed. Instead of judging the serpent, he submitted himself to the serpent's rule. So you have a sort of a flipping of the God-intended role of dominion in Genesis chapter 3, which is the essence of the sin there. So man was created to rule over creation. That's what Psalm 8 expresses. Psalm 8 uses all of that same, almost a citation of Genesis chapter 1. Expressing the idea of man having dominion over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air and every living thing that creepeth upon the face of the earth, etc. Because of sin, humanity loses the dominion. This is why he says in verse 9, verse 8, at present we do not yet see everything in subjection to him, right? Psalm 8 has not come to full fruition yet, although, this sort of an already not yet reality here. It will come to full consummation when Christ comes again, which is, by the way, why I'm not post-mill. So Jesus then, though, is fulfilling man's original role. The role that the first Adam failed and abdicated is the role that Jesus fills in taking dominion over the earth. And that is only possible because of his divinity, which he has laid out in chapter 1. But it also requires that it be a man, that it be a true man. And so this is the necessity of Christ's humanity.